Okay, let's see. Today is July 20th of 2020, and it's 3:45 a.m. in the morning. I don't think you can see it yet from this camera view, but there's... Whoops! Did you almost fall off the desk? Our cat has now decided this is the room she wants to be in. And she also decides she likes to be on my lap or on top of my mouse. I need access to the mouse here. Okay. Okay. New window. DD. What a pain in the butt. Yeah, it's a good spot for you, except you're laying on the mouse. And this window will not, it's been resized or what? Well, a couple of weeks ago, I'm a fat pig, and I've been a fat pig longer than I'm 240 pounds. I can't see my feet most of the time. I can't see another vital part ever. I have diabetes. I have other problems. But very important if you have diabetes that you do all the things, take care of take your meds and take care of your feet and your legs. And my feet and legs are not in good shape. They're not getting good circulation. I can barely reach my feet. So I guess it's about 2 weeks ago or something like that. I took the shower brush and was trying to clean my feet, and really couldn't see what I was doing. Sometimes I could, and especially the left foot on the outside part, it's hard for me to reach in to see it. But anyway, I was trying to clean it gently, and I had an idea that I was thinking maybe this isn't a good idea. And so when I rinsed off the feet, I could see that on top of the foot that I had scraped the top, which is swollen. The foot is swollen. The foot is red before this for a long time. The foot has been grossly swollen and red on top. And the legs don't look too well either. So I noticed that small scrape, and just a small, not deep, but it started giving me some problems. I then tried using a toothbrush, not the same one that a different toothbrush, to clean away from that area on the left-hand side, where the bone sort of sticks out. Try to clean with that, and I didn't notice, but I guess because of the foot being swollen and not getting good circulation, but filled with blood or whatever from being swollen, I made a large scraped area right on there that I really can't see very well. Guess I could put a camera down there and see it. So anyway, I made a online appointment with a doctor online using, well, the doctor's office isn't part of the um, WellMed, let's see, Amwell, Amwell. There's an app for that. But my doctor's office uses that app, so they sent me instructions on how to. And what I had to do was, install the Amwell. I wonder, DD, you're on the mouse. Let's see. It's in the Amwell. Amwell, formerly known as American Well, is a privately held telemedicine company based in Boston, Massachusetts, that connects patients with doctors over secure video, founded in 2006. So I guess my doctor's office uses that app. So they told me I had to install the app and then sign up for it, which I did. So then when I made the appointment, my medical doctor's office, sent me a text message or a link. I clicked on that and was taken there, and then asked to log in using the password I'd created with Amwell, and I did the, medical visit over the cell phone. Saved me getting out in the environment with everything that's going on. And just about a week before this appointment, I had, I guess, a panic attack, or what's the other, let me see, if, something I've never had before. I've never had any, let me see, a panic attack. Because I think there might be something else. A panic attack is an abrupt onset of intense fear or discomfort that reaches a peak within minutes and includes at least 4 of the following symptoms. Palpitations, yeah, I didn't have that. Pounding heart, didn't have that. Accelerated heart rate, no. Sweating, no. Sensation or shortness of breath. Maybe that. My problem was, let's see. So I don't think it was a panic attack, and I'm not sure that's what I told the doctor. I used, what's the other one? Panic disorder. Impending doom. That's not it. Let's see. Okay, I can't find it now. I don't think I told the doctor that I was having a panic attack. What I had was just a feeling of something's wrong, and the main problem was going to sleep. And when I laid down, even though I had no breathing difficulty, I just had a feeling that, and I was having no breathing difficulty, had a feeling like, okay, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to take the next breath, or something's going to happen. And so I got up, and I was exhausted anyway to start with, and I mean, I was tired. You know, I'd been messing with the computer. I was tired. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I laid down about 5 or 6 different times, impending doom. I laid down. I felt like this is it, and I just kept getting up, and I'd go outside, walk around a while, then come back and try. Laying down was the worst, but also the entire feeling. I never felt anything like that before, and I've heard people talk, you know, mention or whatever, that they suffered from that, and I was sympathetic to them, but um, I mean, I'm really sympathetic to them now. I couldn't live with those kind of feelings. I could not live, you know, with those kind of feelings. Anyway, I did this. The doctor hadn't got any lab work from me in 8 months, so I did this thing, and I was asked a bunch of questions by the nurse, and then when I switched to the doctor, a bunch of questions about, well, of course, about the foot and the swelling and the type of injury and whether it was a red streak and to have a temperature and that kind of stuff. But on the panic attack, or and it wasn't what it was called, I was questioned like, what makes you think you have that? And my answer was, well, I don't know what it is, but you know, here's the symptoms, and maybe it's something else, but I don't know. But it's, you know, terrible, just unbearable. So anyway, I was prescribed a narcotic to take, and of course I have to go in anyway. I have to make an appointment to go into their lab or some other lab. And I can't just go in. I have to make an appointment. And one of the things they're going to do is do a drug screen on me to see if there are any drugs in my urine, in my system. You know, they're checking to make sure I'm not a druggie trying to get drugs prescribed, you know, by a... So the medical complaint was my foot and this panic attack. So the medication for the panic attack, DD, are you the reason for the panic attack? The medication, I really think you're supposed to take that medicine, like, to build up, you know, like I think you're supposed to take it all the time. And, but the doctor prescribed, when I have an attack, take one. And so far, I haven't had that. Now, the one I had was horrendous and scary, and I wouldn't be able to function or live in that kind of condition. But after that, I've had, instead of the 100% thing, I've had like 10% attack. I lay down and I have to get up. So, and I'm still having those occasionally, the little tiny ones. I'm tired, I lay down, and I have to get up because it just doesn't feel like I should be laying down. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to take the next breath. And so I have I took one to begin with, because the instructions were take one when you need it, just one. So I took it, and maybe it made me a little tired and sleepy, and I turned on CNN's audio, the audio from CNN, when I was having this bad attack, and then I finally fell asleep. But then for the next day, all day long, I was just no high or anything, but just exhausted, just so. And I'm always tired, but this was like, oh my God, and I'm just so tired. Just can't do anything. And then it passed after about a full day. And after that, in fact, yesterday, I had the same feeling, maybe a 10% attack. Which after I took that first one, I decided, I'm not going to take one of these again unless if I get that 100% attack or something close to that, I'll take anything. Because but then again, so then yesterday or last night, it was 10 or 15%. And I thought I'm going to try it again. So I took one. And eventually I was able to go to sleep. But even now, I woke up after a few hours, just absolutely, couldn't do anything. Just couldn't do anything. Not that I was high in any way or euphoric or anything, just exhausted. And I'm still that way. And I think it'll probably take some hours today, probably another nap or two, and then I'll be back to my normal being tired. So that's that. The other thing, I need to get in for I haven't had a lab work done in 8 months because of this. Normally I see the doctor every 6 months and have lab work done. And from when I was in the hospital a couple of years ago, or whatever that was, when I was in there for 6 days and ended up leaving AMA, some of my numbers on things that they're worried about are high, and they've been coming down. But I haven't been to the doctor, and I had lab work done in 8 months, so the doctor wants to make sure that those numbers are down. So I'm going to have to get in and see the other thing is, I think I mentioned already that I got a notice from the heart doctor that I needed to, Dee Dee, hey, that's not, ow, ow, damn it, get out, 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 out of here. Okay, what can I do to get this cat out of here? Out. Gonna stop this and get the cat out of here. Okay. I'm not sure if the microphone's picking that up or not. I'm back. I put some alcohol on it. Our cat, Dee Dee, she's really my grown son's cat. I mean, she's the one that when she was taken in by my grown son and my ex-wife, who at that time lived next door. And at that time I lived upstairs in the apartment upstairs. And then my grandson and I moved to this apartment downstairs. And then eventually my grandson moved in with his mother. And then my ex-wife and my grown son moved in here and brought the cat. And the cat follows my son around like a dog. And when they moved in here for a while, I had a cat that was in my room here. Well, it had the room that roamed the place, but when they moved in, cat had to stay in here. And finally, my daughter took the cat, and let's see, CNN, where are you? I forget. So for a while, the cat that we had here just stayed in this room. And Dee Dee, the cat that they brought over with them, knew there was a cat in this room and would not come in this room. And for months after that cat left here, Dee Dee would not come in this room at all, ever. Then eventually one day she explored it. She came in cautiously, looking around everywhere, checking out everywhere. And then she would come in, but until just, well, the last few days, Dee Dee's been, when the feeding alarm goes off, she looks around for whoever's awake, and we feed her, whoever's awake. And she would come into this room occasionally, but for some reason, a couple of days ago, she came in here and she wanted me to open my shade up so she could look outside, so I kept that open. She's been laying on my desk, trying to laying on top of me, doing all types of stuff, and she's been wanting to be, and I even ran the vacuum cleaner a little bit. That's something she's always run from, and she was up here, and I thought for sure when I reached for the vacuum cleaner that she would run. She just hunkered down here, and I used the vacuum cleaner a little bit, and then I used it on her a little bit. She was okay with that, which is bizarre. And but she wants to be on the desk, she wants to be held by me all the time. And then, as you saw, maybe, I'm not sure how much you saw from that camera view or heard, but she got me 4 places with her claws. And then she was snarling at me and snapping at me. So she's out, and as far as I'm concerned, she can stay out. It's especially important with my legs and my feet that I do not get scratched or bit or step on something or whatever because of the diabetes. Wanted to tell you about something. Oh, my here it is. This is a Yeti mug. I'll put a link to this too if I can find it. And finally, my daughter gave this to me a long time ago. I really didn't use it that much, but what I've discovered is I fill it with ice now. Then I pour Coke into it. And what my way things have been in the past, I would be, drinking Coke. And then instead of finishing the Coke, there'd be half a can of Coke. It would sit here, get warm, and I would dump it out. And so what I've discovered is fill this with ice, pour Coke into it, and I drink it. If I don't finish it, which I usually don't, put the cap on, screw it down, put it in my little refrigerator over there. Usually, maybe not all of the ice, but a lot of the ice is still there. So the next time I need some Coke, I drink it. I add a Coke to it, put it back in, So that's working out well for me, saving me. Because I don't drink Coke when it sits, or when it's warm. Yeah, but this is working out okay. Well, my daughter Hillary got me one of these, a Yeti cup. As you can see, they come in different colors. The price, I think, is outrageous, but what you do with cans, Coke or beer or whatever, well, what I do is I put this in the refrigerator, along with the top. And the Coke, of course, is refrigerated in the refrigerator. So anyway, I open it up, put that in, fits perfectly. I understand that certain size bottles will fit too, but then screw this on and then drink it, and it keeps it. This is insulated, so the can of Coke stays colder a lot longer. So I've been using that. So I guess this is the Yeti Rambler 12-ounce can insulator for standards. I'll put the link below. And if I can find, which I'm sure I can, I'll put the link below for this. Let's see here. $12-ounce standard can is perfect for sparkling water, soft drinks, good old-fashioned beer. 12-ounce slim. Okay, I guess I have a standard, a slim, and a 16-ounce. So The Coaster 2.0, that's what I have, is for 12-ounce cans, long neck bottles for tailgating, triple digit temperature, BB barbecue festivals. It says cans and bottles may, the fit may vary based on their shape. Dishwasher and BPA free. This is the locking gasket that goes up on top. And here are the colors, a whole range of colors. Here's a Yeti Rambler 14-ounce stainless steel vacuum insulated mug with lid. It has a handle on it, it looks like. They have a bunch of products. That are expensive, but you know, the insulated products like that are expensive. So, I think I just mentioned the beginning and then got sidetracked. I think that's when I was viciously attacked by a gigantic cat. Actually, not a gigantic cat, but got notified that time to go in for the heart doctor because my battery is low after about 10 years, and they need to tell me what medicines I need to stop taking before the operation, and I guess set up a time for opening me up and taking out the battery and putting a new one in. So it's been about 5 days or 7 days since let's see. It says a week. The last video I made was ranking of presidents of the United States. I added to that after a few days. How do you think of each of the following? And I think that's this top one here I added after a few days. There was other links there, but I added ranking United States presidents, the YouTube video, and a college professor, I believe, made a video on that subject. So that's the first. If you watch that video of mine and then you want more, you might want to start with the first listing there, ranking United States presidents. And so let's see. What else is going on? It's hot here in Texas. I think I forgot to mention the doctor, because of the scrape on the top of my foot. Now I have a big scrape on the side, which I did after I talked to the doctor. She put me on it doesn't say penicillin, but apparently it's a penicillin one of the many penicillin products. It's let me see here. Not sure how much you can see. So I take one capsule, 50 milligrams, by mouth 3 times a day for 30 days. Live update. Delta Airlines is to begin asking passengers unable to wear face masks to consider staying at home. I guess this is the last week for the $600 unemployment benefits. For those of you outside of the United States, when you're employed, each company is required to pay a small amount of your salary into the unemployment fund. It's a very small amount, and they don't take it out, apparently. I worked my entire life, and half my life I worked 2 jobs, and I never collected any unemployment insurance. But apparently the way it works is if you have a company of like 100 employees, I guess there's something that they figured out that you should have a fund amount, because they don't figure all of your people are going to be drawing unemployment at the same time. They figure somebody's going to get quit or however. I don't know if you. When I was working, I know workers would always say, well, so-and-so, somebody just hired in a short period of time and then he quit so he could just stay at home and draw unemployment. And actually, if you quit, I think then at first we heard or we thought that you couldn't get unemployment. But then I think I think it must have changed over time. If you quit, you had to wait X amount of time, and then eventually you could start getting unemployment. But you had to go out and try to find a job. They would tell you, here are some jobs, and then you had to fill out every week a piece of paper, with the location and who you talked to or whatever about getting a job. So anyway, okay, you have a company of 100 employees, so the unemployment, whatever set up, decides how much money you have to keep in that fund. Once you fill that fund up, then you don't have to put any more in it until it goes down. So if you're a company and you're getting rid of a bunch of people all the time, and those people are filing for unemployment, you'd have to keep putting money into that. If you're a company that takes care of your employees and you're, they don't draw, they don't, then you don't have to put any more into it. But the unemployment amount it varies by state, but it's never been very generous. It's maybe in California or some state, I don't know. Maybe it's been. But I think generally, if you were making $500 a week or $1,000 a week, and then you become unemployed and eligible for unemployment. Uh, you're not going to be eligible for unemployment if you were fired for stealing or fighting or whatever. But um, it's if you would normally say you made 500 a week or 1,000 a week. Nowadays, I think depending on the state, and if it's a southern state, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, or Louisiana, or something like that, uh, and say you normally made $500 or $1,000 a week on your job, and you become unemployed, and you sign up for unemployment insurance, I think you'd probably get like $250 a week, or something like that. Something that you may not have been well paid before when you were working, but you can't survive. Well, with this virus or whatever, the Congress decided to add $600 a week to the unemployment benefits for X amount of time. This week, that amount expires, and there will be no more. And so Republicans have been very upset with this $600 a week amount. They think that people are going to get it and be out flying to Vegas and taking cruises and that, which is not true. And so they haven't liked it, and it's expired, and the Republicans are going to make sure that they don't renew it. So also Congress, when they passed the stimulus package that they passed a while back, one of the things they put in there was that people could not be evicted under certain conditions for not paying their rent. But the government didn't give these people money to pay their rent. All they did was tell the owners under certain conditions. I guess it depends on how many properties you own, or I don't know what all. You know how the government works. But all it did was say to, the unemployed person who lost their job because of the virus that you were not going to be evicted. But you still owed them money, and you still owed the next month's money, and the next whatever. That is going to expire. And so there are people who could not afford to pay their rent, and now they have 3, 4, 5, 6 months rent that is due, and the people who are the landlords can evict them. And I think they've talked about that I think they said 35 million people that may be facing, being tossed out on the street. So, starting today's Monday, the Senate is back in session, and they're going to start on a new stimulus package. But I don't think it's going to include any assistance for unemployment benefits, or if it does, they'll be very mild, because Republicans are convinced that there are people who are just drawing unemployment insurance, or who are not wanting to go back to work. And not sure what they're going to do about these other programs. Republicans are willing to do things for employers. And I think there is going to be another stimulus check. And the Democrats are wanting another, $1,200 per person. And Republicans are kind of negative to that. And Republicans are, well, let's not give it to everybody. And but there's an election time coming up here in November, and I think they'll go ahead and, at the very least, I think there'll be one payment of $1,200 because that's what would happen last time. But problem with that is it took them months to get that money out to people before, and there was one payment, and several months go by, and if people need it, now I don't need it. Well, I mean, I'm poor. I mean, I'm living on Social Security and another very small amount of money, pension. But so I mean that $1,200 that I got, I did what they want you to do. I spent it on computer stuff. But so with an election coming up, I think they're going to give the $1,200 stimulus to everybody. I don't see the Republicans doing more than $1,200 because they weren't happy doing $1,200 before, a one-time payment of $1,200. But with the election coming up, if I were a Democrat or Republican, I wouldn't want to vote against a stimulus program because I think there's a certain number of voters who are like, who got for the first time in their life money from the government, other than tax refunds or whatever. And I think they're going to want a stimulus check. And President Trump, the only thing I think he's thinking about right now is getting reelected. What can he say or do to get reelected? And I think he's going to. Of course, he plays to his base big time, and there are people in his base that are like, give money to big business. Don't give unemployment money to workers because then they'll stay at home and won't work. And so you don't know what's going through, well, I'm not sure anything's going through Donald Trump's brain, but so you don't know now it's something that's decided by Congress. Of course, the president can sign it and make it a law, or he can, veto it and it won't be a law unless Congress overpasses him, overturns him, which they can do, I think, a 2/3 vote in the Senate and the House, I believe, which it's rare for that for a veto to be overturned. So I can think of some other things, but I think I better just end this for now, and we can come back and talk about them later on. So, thank you very much for watching.